Good morning. Home, with my thoughts escaping. Home, where the music's playing. Home, where my love life's waiting silently for me. Oh. Ring ding 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 ding. Oh, good morning. Can we get some taps, please? Hello. I made this up this morning. We look like fucking hypocrites. I want to talk about the things I hear in lives because I don't go on Discord and talk shit about people. People have a lot to say about what I say. Good morning, Amanda. I suspect they do. I hope they do. Let's get some taps, everybody. Oh, I might have to adjust my lighting. I got the window open. I might have to stand here soon too. I don't know how much setting I'm going to be able to do. We're just going to do this, like I just made this morning. We'll see what happens. I want to talk about the conversations I hear in spaces that are supposed to be advocating for my community. It's part of my community, right? Let me see. I'm going to, you know what? I want you to share the live. I can't see what you're going to say for a second because I'm going to share all the live to everybody I see with a green dot. Anybody I see with a green dot. Boom. Thank you. Simply, good morning. Good morning. It's going to be like musical chairs in here. I think I'll be hopping around from chair to chair. Let's get some taps. Let's get some people. April, right off the bat. Oh, we love you. Thank you for that heart, me angel. Thank you. Let's get some taps up in here. Let's get some taps in here, everybody. Oh, baby. And then it fell apart. It fell apart. Let's see if that, I might leave that one out. I don't know. I think I might, oh, baby. The Nick, thank you. I want to talk about how hypocritical we sound. I listen to Spaces, and you know, let me start by saying I can't hold anybody accountable for shit. For a few reasons. Because of the shit that comes out of my mouth. But I can have an opinion about what I hear on the app. And a few weeks ago, I expressed an opinion about something I heard. And no one said anything really directly to me. But I think I'm on everyone's shit list. Because organically, I'm like, oh, I heard Paige tell someone to KYS. Someone to kill themselves, you know? The words, kill yourself. That's what she said to them. And it started because my friend said, hey, do you follow this creator, Hayden? And I'm like, I used to follow Hayden. But she told a guest to kill himself multiple times. Brought him up, said it like 3 or 4 times, and then asked the audience, do you think it's okay that I'm telling this person to KYS? And so I wrote in the comments, I don't want to hear that. And then I dropped her. I unfollowed her. I didn't block her or anything. But the hypocrisy comes when we say, hey, teach LGBTQ through K through 12. It's anti-bullying. Statistics say it decreases bullying. Now go fucking jump out in traffic and take your worthless fucking life. Anti-LGBTQ bullying, right? It's hypocritical. It's hypocritical. You should understand there's people in our community that fucking struggle with suicidal ideation. For fuck's sake. Even though this is directed at the bad guy, right? This is directed at the bully online. You don't think that somebody that's struggling with ideation, that's constantly thinking, I want to kill myself, right? You don't think that, oh, they shouldn't have to hear that too. You don't think that we can't ever swing too low, right? I'm a white man. I'm a gay white man, but I'm an old white man. There's very few people that I could punch up to, right? I understand the idea of punching up and punching down. If you're punching down, but there's a bunch of people listening, you might be hurting some people you don't want to hurt, right? And maybe there's a line that you want to cross or you don't want to cross. There should be a line, I think. You know, you don't start calling people racist shit. Do you? Do you call minority people, because there's absolutely people from minorities that are as transphobic and homophobic as you can get. Is turnabout fair play, right? Dark Angel, thank you. Chat, good morning. Oh, thanks for the support, chat. Welcome to the Gay Santa Show. I have a few creators I want to talk about. I'd love if they came and talked to me. I listen to the same conversations you do. I want to talk about genital shaming now. The first one is like, I put them in priority of how I feel about them. This one here, the KYS, I think that's unacceptable, me personally, to directly say that, right? You could tell somebody, oh, why don't you make some fucking reckless choices? Like, I hope an automobile hits you. Like, that's bullying. It sounds hypocritical when you say 5 minutes later, oh, we are the community that doesn't want bullying, right? Telling someone to KYS online is the worst sort of cyberbullying that hurts people. Genital shaming. Let's talk about how hypocritical and stupid. Oh, we're pro-trans here. We're going to actually debate that women have penises. Men have vaginas. Your genitals don't make you who you are. Oh, you fucking micro penis, small little man. Guess what? A micro penis is an intersex condition. Oh, it's very rare. I think it's 1 out of 80,000. That's how small dicks, that's not rare, right? Insecure men, that's not rare. And I wonder, when you don't set your lives for 18 and up, I think about the 12-year-old boys going through puberty, and you're making them fucking insecure so they can be 18 on your live and say, oh, you're insecure. That's why you don't want to have body count bullshit, right? Genital shaming. Let's talk about micro penises. Let's talk about bottom dysphoria. Let's talk about how there's trans men that suffer terribly from bottom dysphoria, and they can't fucking access that healthcare because it's very hard to access. Only 8% of trans men access bottom surgery. They actually are so happy they get some growth. If you know it, trans men, after some time on HRT, they can develop a micropenis. It's like a micropenis. This idea that we're advocating for trans people and your genitals don't have nothing to do with your identity. Oh, and but you've got a fucking micro dick. And think about the fucking intersex people and trans people in the fucking community that you're like, we are advocating for them. And then you turn around and be like, oh, you worthless cis man. I get why the dick attack works. I get why it works because most men are average. I've had a fair sampling size in my day. Most men are average. A lot of those men on average, it's still on the scale, especially on the smaller side of average, they're absolutely insecure. So women do that. I get it. I totally am not saying, tell your ex-boyfriend his dick was a joke. Tell your ex-boyfriend, don't do it around 300 people with children listening, okay? Don't do it around 300 people with children. Hey, like I said, I can't hold anybody accountable for their space, except for I could say what I don't like. I could say number one is a line too far, and I can also say I set my lives for adults. So I have an inappropriate sense of humor. I talk about sex. I tell homophobic and transphobic people that their dad sucks my dick, comes over from Grindr, sucks my dick, goes home and kisses your mom. I say shit like that, right? But I set my space for adults only. I absolutely do. And anyway, chat, there's 70 of us here. Let's listen to some music. I'm going to hydrate and adjust my attitude. The last one we're going to talk about is the one I think is least egregious, but still absolutely hypocritical. That's the fat phobia. Literally, President Trump, piece of shit President Trump, told a female news reporter, piggy, in a nasty way, piggy, right? And so apparently we've appropriated that to our spaces. And here's the fucked up bit. 5 minutes after calling some asshole a piggy, we don't know who he is. We don't know if he's fat or not. Well, we absolutely know that there's an obesity epidemic in America. We absolutely know that there's people that we should be supportive of that are hearing the piggy. And the thing is why would you want to recreate Trump's speech, and then 5 minutes later somebody joins and calls somebody fat, and they're like, oh, you're being fat phobic. Oh, fat phobia, that's fat phobia. You just called people fucking piggy. To me, it just is a bullshit look. That's my take. That's Gay Santa's take. I got a guest request. Here's the deal. If I don't know who you are, I'm going to keep you around briefly. Wait a second. Chat. Their bios in a language I do not recognize. So I'm not going to bring you up. My buttons aren't working, everybody. I can't get my buttons to work. Okay, tap the screen. Here's the deal. I do want to talk to people. I don't want to just talk about this to myself, right? There's 81 of us here. Share this live out. I'll be specific. I've heard Hayden repeatedly tells someone to kill themselves. The world would be better off if you took your worthless life. I heard that, while I was scrolling my TikTok phone. I also heard Paige say that to somebody. I was just like kind of dozing in and off. Like I didn't hear I don't remember the precursor to what made her say that. I don't know if there's context, but I'd love to hear from her. She's on the app all the goddamn time, right? Um, and so, micro penis. Now that's a few spaces. I hear that shit all the time. Princess Warrior, I don't know. I'm going to let you hang out for just a second. Um, I don't know what spaces you're in, and I don't know how you want to contribute to the conversation. So I'll bring you up here in a minute, but it's probably going to be brief. Because I don't want this to be like, I agree with you, Santa. I don't like hearing that too necessarily. I don't know what I want it to be. I just made it this morning because here's the deal. I was talking to my friend and I invited her to watch. Excuse me. I just misgendered my friend. I was talking to my friend and I invited them to watch. And you know what's funny? I'm surprised I did that. Oh, let me take a drink, chat. End hate, end with the message. Paige says Piggy and Reggie uses Reggie says KYS too? Well, you know what? Reggie does, last night, I don't know who was saying it, but they were saying the micro penis bit. Let me reiterate, that's an intersex condition. That means they're part of our community. The community that says your genitals don't matter to the kind of person you are. You fucking small dick motherfucker. Yeah, and I would love to have a conversation about punching up and punching down. I would love to have that conversation. I would love to talk to Reggie. Here's the thing. This isn't about me policing language necessarily. I got a lot of hate because I talked I don't know if I got a lot of hate. This app's kind of funny. Indirectly, I've gotten the impressions that since I mentioned that a creator said KYS, that I didn't think that was good. I even clipped it, actually. I clipped it because, nobody wants to fucking talk to me. So I clipped it and just what I said about it. And anyway, I think I'm on people's shit list now. But here, this is my opinion. I listen to your spaces. You sound hypocritical. People don't like what I say. I know for a fact I've gotten heat because I used a T-slur. I've said the T-slur a few times. And I'm going to be more careful. I never have called a trans person a T-slur. What's happened is they join, I talk to them, they crash out, they say the T-slur, and I've said something like, "Oh, you love those T-slurs, right?" And I don't put any thought into it, but that has to do with my thinking about slurs and reappropriating slurs, right? You absolutely just love those transgender people, and you just call them a fucking slur, and they're using it with power and intent to silence me, an old fucking fag, right? So I've said it a few times, and that's the context, but I want to do better. I want to do better, and this isn't me saying I'm a better creator or a more, or a gooder. I'm a gooder person than them. I'm gooder. Let's see if we could get a guest request in here. I'd like to hear from somebody. Okay, Princess Warrior is still there. I forgot about your princess. I'm going to bring up a couple people real quick to see what they have to say. I'd love to talk to some of the creators. I love Chai Guy. I know he's probably busy doing some cruising stuff. He tells people piggy too. I don't like to hear that. I'm just letting them know I don't like to hear it. And I think it's literally minutes later they'll say, "Oh, you're being fat phobic. You're body shaming." Absolutely, we're engaging in body shaming and the worst sort of cyberbullying. And then we go on Discord and talk shit about what everybody says. That's real nice. Princess, good morning. What did you want to say, sweetheart?
I'm on my way in now. Yeah, good. Then you might want to take care of that thing with you. Which thing?
Princess, I don't know you. I'm dropping you down, honey. All I'm hearing is background, like you're in a restaurant or something. Hey, new guest, how old are you, and what should I call you?
Oh, howdy. This is actually Plants and Gender. We've spoken briefly. I just changed my name for season two, but I'm the one who runs the pickup truck prompt, if you've ever seen it, where it says we're going to confiscate ICE supporters or annoying people's pickup trucks. And the other joke is that pickup trucks can be a form of gender affirming care. But a lot of the times when I have friendlies on my panel, I'll have to drop them down for number two because there's something just about the compensation joke where like people are compensating this or that, And for the exact reasons that you're listing off, it seems to be hypocritical. It's like we're an LGBT, I wouldn't say we're a safe space, but we're definitely a queer live stream. And it's like, why are we going to go there? Like, joking around that it's gender affirming care and that it's for ego boosting is one thing, but I've always disliked when, like, I'll have a guest up and they've been being respectful. Like, they're bickering and they're arguing about their stupid pickup trucks or lawn mowing or whatever it is that I'm arguing. But I don't understand why the friendlies on my panel see it fit to just immediately go to the biggest cliche, which is genital shaming. And like, for reference, I'm a non-binary trans woman myself. So to me, it's extra, like, dude, like, we can't do that. Like, we cannot be doing this. And as for the first one, like, I've never specifically heard, I don't want to name drop, but it's like, yeah, it shocks me. It's like every time, like, I run a pretty, I would not say it's a tame live stream. People are, saying this and that, the other thing to each other, but there's a line that can't be crossed. And I definitely think that number one, like, that's low.
Well, you know what? I think that I agree with you. And here's the thing: my option is just to unfollow the person. But I kind of want to. This is about calling out myself as well, because I know people feel strongly about the way I communicate. I'm going to reiterate: I set my space for adults only. I think that puts a little different context, right? Because when you say KYS and maybe a 12-year-old's listening, I'm certain there's people in our community that are struggling with ideation that listen to these lives too. But like I said, the micro penis. See, like the thing is specific. Like having a small dick is body shaming and genital shaming, I don't think it's a good look. I do think. What do I want? Like I've told men, I'm like, you haven't been fucked in a long time. I've like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not attacking their body. I'm getting the vibe. Like, this person doesn't get any fucking action. That's why he doesn't shut up about trans people. But I'm just going to also reiterate, micropenis is an intersex condition, super rare. I think it's 1 in 80,000 babies actually has a micropenis. That means they're born into our community where we say, oh, your genitals don't define your identity, right? You fucking small dick little piece of shit, man. I crack myself up, chat. There's 64. There's somebody else in my guest request box. I'm in a decent mood. Princess.
Hey, thanks for having me up.
You're welcome. Princess, I let you join, and there was background noise, and you didn't hear me. So it's okay. You know what, Princess, you take care of that. I'd like to have the screen tapped. I would like to hear from somebody. Is there somebody in here I might know already, or is there somebody here that's in spaces or moderates in spaces that'd like to give me their opinion about what's going on? I would absolutely love to talk to somebody that has heard or doesn't like things that I say, because to me, that's an opportunity to learn, right? I want to hear, like, here I am. I don't want to sound like a hypocrite and say, hey, I'm advocating for the community, having these conversations, and then use language or have rhetoric or sentiment that hurts the community, right? It's not like I'm a perfect person, for fuck's sake. And this isn't about policing language necessarily. Well, the first one I think is. The other two, I just wanted people to think about how they sound. Anyways, I just made this background this morning. People, you know what, Goldberry, I've gotten the impression for a while people have been complaining about me. And I'll tell you, weeks ago, I was hosting a live, and I had a panelist, and they asked me if I followed someone named Hayden, who's a queer person on this app, queer woman on this app. And I said no. I stopped following her because she told the person to take their life. And not just once, repeatedly. And threw in how much the world would be better off, and then asked the chat, and I was paying attention to this live. I'm always laying on the floor. I asked the chat, hey, is this okay? Is it okay that I'm telling this person to repeatedly KYS? And the chat's like, yeah, it's great. And I typed, I don't want to hear it. And I saw them, I might just be guessing because people think I read shit. I don't. I think I saw them read it and just ignore it, right? And then I unfollowed them into that. So then somebody asked me about Hayden, and I said, I don't follow him anymore because they said KYS. And you know what? I don't have much of a filter. I'm neuroatypical, and I'm absolutely honest. So this was organic. It wasn't like, oh, Santa's going to come out here and talk shit about people. A night or two before, I heard Paige tell someone to KYS, and I wasn't paying close attention. So I don't know the conversation that preceded it. and it was like I was kind of in a daze, but it stuck in my head. Like, yeah, it woke me up enough to say, "Oh my God, is that somebody on our side telling someone to kill themselves?" I think it's violent. I think it's the worst sort of cyberbullying. Guess what? 5 minutes later, we're like, we should have LGBTQ inclusive curriculum. Studies show it decreases bullying, right? I was a kid that was bullied. Were you? Do you think it's okay if someone is a really bad person to tell them to kill themselves on a public platform where people as young as 12 could possibly be listening? Because everybody else, I don't think, sets their lives for adults like I do. Doesn't mean people lie about their age on apps, right? If your kid is lying about their fucking age on apps, be accountable for your kid. And there's a whole lot worse they could do than listen to my bullshit, right? Anyways, chat, I'm just running with this morning. If you haven't followed me, please do. 3.6 thousand taps for all my yapping. No wonder nobody's coming in here. If you follow me, or if you don't follow me, please do. I do host LGBTQ. You know what I'm talking about. After the election, I went very, very regularly, mostly about the gender affirming care for minors conversation, because that right there is an issue, and it's been politicized. So everybody has an opinion on it. That right there is an issue that so divisive. I think it actually swayed the election, right? So I went live about that consistently forever, and then I actually started doing the bathroom conversation, which I never really did much, because to me it's such a fucking no-brainer. But then I realized, oh, there's anti-trans bathroom legislation. These people are still talking about this shit. They feel as strong about it as they always have. So, but I do other conversations too. There's 67 of us here. I wish I had somebody up here to talk about that says. I would love to talk to somebody that says, talks about genital shaming. I think the whole calling people piggy thing, I don't like it. Here's the thing. They could still say it, right? The only one and the thing is they could say all of it. They could say all of it. I just think it makes us sound like hypocrites. People have opinions about how I don't even think they pay attention to what I say, right? But they don't like it. They don't like it, so they go in Discord and bullshit about it. This app is so weird. So these are just 3 things I don't like. If you tell someone, telling someone to take their own life is not the same thing. It's not to say, oh, go jump in front of a car. They're not the same thing. They're both bullying though, and we're supposed to be anti-bullying. And like I say, I'm not an angel. How can I hold anybody accountable? I say inappropriate things. I generally call straight guys, straggots. Hey, if you're interested in hearing an old queer say inappropriate things, follow Gay Santa. Follow Gay Santa. Oh, it's absolutely sunny outside. I'm not sure. This is just a trial run. I didn't actually tell anybody I was going to do this. I decided to make this up this morning. It didn't take very long. These are 3 things that our spaces do, and it sounds to me like we're hypocritical as fuck. That's what I think. Bones, I appreciate that. I'm sorry I haven't been reading the comments as much. It's really hard for me sometimes with my ADHD to try to compose. It's not even compose a thought. I'm just spilling out a thought. Stop and read something. Yeah, Bones, that's my whole point. I've suffered from terrible bipolar depression where I've literally not able to function and am constantly, my internal dialogue is constantly telling myself to take my life, thinking about ways to do it. You know what I mean? Oh, Yoku sharing the live. Good morning, Yoku. How are you doing, sweetheart? I'm doing a call out live on LGBTQ spaces and how fucking hypocritical we sound, but we've had some people hanging out. Thanks for being here. I'm stretching my back. I've been hey Emma, I've been going. Thank you, girl. I've been going live more regularly, and it's fucking my back up all this sitting down. It's really sunny outside, though. It's really sunny outside, so I think I might go outside here in a little bit. I can always try this one later. I would love to get some people in here, though. Everybody start doing your gossiping bullshit. Go around and gossip. Oh, Santa's talking shit about everybody. Please, can you do that for me? Join people's spaces and be like, are you really telling people to take their lives? Why Why are you talking about shaming people by having an intersex condition? That sounds kind of hypocritical. And I would love to talk to someone about punching up and punching down, because here's the thing. There might be a disconnect for me, because I'm in a position that I really can't. There's almost nobody I could punch up to. Do you know what I'm saying? Like there's not a lot of people. As a privileged old white man in this country, I could punch up at the straight people. I could punch up at the fucking people pulling the strings, the billionaires hurting people, right? I could punch up at those motherfuckers, the cis hets. But I you know what? Everything else is punching down. And if they feel like saying KYS is in their wheelhouse because they're punching up at that motherfucker, I'd like to hear it. My only argument is these aren't private conversations with people you hate, right? Tell your ex you got a fucking piece of shit dick. Tell your ex, oh, that dick's such a puny piece of shit. Good luck finding another bitch to pretend to enjoy it, right? Don't tell that to your ex in front of your children. Don't tell that to your ex in front of 300 people listening because of the what's the word? Collateral damage. This causes collateral fucking damage, right? People that you say you're advocating for are going to get hurt by your language in addition to the person you don't like. Well, you're hoping. Hey, do you know what's funny? You don't know, dick size has nothing to do with your personality. If you tell a guy that has a huge dick and he knows it, and then you say, "Oh, you got a little dick," he's like, right? Is there a moderator here? Ryan's saying, "City boy, girl. I'm a country girl, Ryan. I am a country girl. What the fuck are you talking about, city boy? You sound like a shitty boy. Shitty boy." Oh, I'm going to check my stats. 51 people, 26 minutes, 697 views, 4 followers. Oh, Shay, you're fine. You're fine. Honey, I wanted to roll with this background. I think I'm going to do it more than once. Because I think I did a good job. I think I did a good job yapping to myself for a half hour. Good job, Santa. Ding, ding, ding. I get all sweaty sometimes in the morning. Keep us together, running in the shadows. Hi, Sunny. Hey, sweetheart. Emma's sharing the live out. Coach Joe sent me a heart me. I'm not giving up hope yet. I'm stretching my back out. But I'll tell you, I'd like to talk to people. I'd love to talk to people I know. And the problem is I don't know a lot of people. When I say know, I mean know of. I'd like to talk about the people's spaces I'm calling out that I think sounds hypocritical. And you know, yeah. I heard last night on Reggie's live, I think it was Paige too. Paige was gunning for somebody, telling them how small their dick is. Because they worry about body count. Yeah, they're probably telling some 18-year-old who's never has had sex twice or something. Oh yeah, you got a fucking insecure. You got a fucking tiny micro penis, right? It's kind of shitty that you know, 5 seconds later we'll talk about how bad body shaming is. 10 minutes later we'll say, oh, trans men are men because your dick doesn't make you a man. Trans men are men, dick doesn't make you a man, right? There's men with dysphoria because they don't have a dick that actually are thrilled they were able to get a micro penis, but they still feel very much inadequate, and that has to do with our society, right? You're going to bitch about men being insecure when there's 12-year-old boys going through puberty on this app, scared to death that they might be on the small side of average, right? They don't want to be a part of the club. Anyways, let's have a convo chat. I think it's an interesting conversation, don't you? No, well, you know what? I spoke about Claire. Is her name Claire? Paige. I spoke about Paige, and just organically because I don't have much of a filter. Because she told someone to kill themselves, and a few days later it just came up. Another creator named Hayden. said it very much on a live multiple times. So I unfollowed Hayden. I didn't unfollow Paige, but Paige unfollowed me. And then I heard some bullshit, and I don't want to participate in gossiping, but I'd love for people to tell me what they think about me, and I want to tell you, I think you sound like hypocrites. If you're saying that we want to get LGBTQ representation in schools because we want to end bullying, I was a fag that got bullied relentlessly. I wasn't even openly gay, but still, junior high when I was going through puberty, I took count, like in one class, like 30, 40 fucking times in one class, somebody said shit to me. I think it's a way to get to straight men who have disgusting morals, the micropene thing. Well, you know, here's the thing, Emma. The reason it's a thing, and I agree, is because it works and because men, it's almost ubiquitous. Because most men don't have a small penis. This is how math works. Most men have an average sized penis. This average sized penis, they feel inadequate. Everything they see on media is huge ones, right? I absolutely think it's totally within fair game for a woman to tell her fucking ex, yeah, fuck you, find somebody else that's going to pretend to enjoy that Vienna sausage, right? It's Vienna sausage, motherfucker. That's not the same as telling some random person you don't even know what their fucking genitals are like in a pro-LGBTQ space with 300 people listening, including minors. Oh, you're a piece of shit because you have this rare intersex condition. You're a piece of shit because you have... And you know what? We're the ones that say, all they want to talk about is genitals, everybody. All they want to talk about is everybody's genitals. Those fucking micro penis motherfuckers. It's the hypocrisy makes me giggle. That's my self-regulation laugh. The closer I am to find. Yeah, I love this song. This is by, they had this on the Barbie movie, which is kind of cool. This is by the Indigo Girls. Lesbian, fucking one of the best lesbian like folk bands ever. If you don't know who they are, shame on you. Well, thank you. 2-6 Solace. Well, you know, Goldie, I might. I set my lives for adults, and I've been doing pretty good, but I think the JOINT might, because I might get the, I might know, I'll get a warning here about don't consume things or something, right? Yeah, I set my lives for adults. I hit the BOWL, and I never get in trouble, but I'm kind of short on that. There's more than this. Oh. We read up on revival and we stand up for the lookout. There's more than one answer to these questions, pointing me in a crooked line. And the less I seek my source, the closer I am to find. There's 61 of us hanging out. Mental health needed, says Downey. I hope you get it, honey. I hope you get it and you're not alone. 20% of Americans suffer from mental illness. And a fraction of a percent of Americans absolutely enjoy their mental illness, like myself. I'm pretty lucky that way. Hey, girl. Hey, good morning. I don't know if I'm long for this world, this chair. When I say this world, that's true too. I'm not long for this world. That's the nice thing about Gen Xers, everybody. We're not going to be around forever, honey. That's the nice thing. That's always the nicest thing about the older generations. They just don't get to be around forever. Thank you, Mr. Worldwide. Everybody, I'm bringing Goldie up. If you don't follow Goldie, please do. She hosts a great fun space. It's a fun space with interesting conversations, and she has stuff in her shop. And she uses the stuff, and she knows what she's talking about. Goldie, good morning.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, no, I like these prompts. I think these are great.
Well, thanks. I think it's, I thought about it this morning, and I think it's a conversation we could have, and it's not about policing language necessarily, because like I said, I can't hold anybody accountable for the shit that they say, but I could tell them, hey, this is something that makes us sound absolutely hypocritical. And the first one telling people, implying it is different. Telling them, oh, run in front of some moving traffic. Like, that's not as kind. I mean, it's absolutely bullying, but it's not the same as take your worthless fucking life, you piece of shit, right? I don't think we should hear that on a platform when most people don't. It's not something I think it could hurt people listening, but it's especially young people, compromised young people that are having ideation. They don't need to hear that because
Well,
go
imagine how you feel if somebody actually listened to you and did that just because you said something that you were just trying to sound edgy for.
ahead.
Like, I don't care if you're an awful, horrible person. I'm not going to wish that you need to take your own life. There's always the possibility that you could be a better person, and I'm just not going to be that person. And I will remind people, we have had court cases where people have said that to people online, and they listened and did the thing, and then the people who bullied them online called an account and got jail time because they convinced somebody, according to the jury, to unalive themselves.
I remember seeing something, and it was literally somebody egging them on in text message after text message
Hmm.
to do it, which is so fucking disgusting. One of my dearest childhood friends was a very feminine presenting gay guy. He's a sister of perpetual indulgence. He was told when he was in high school, people would tell him to kill himself walking down the hall. Same thing with the one gay kid in my high school that Kevin, that was openly gay because he couldn't hide it. He would, we would hear people tell him to kill himself on a regular fucking basis. Um, and I don't think that's that one there. I think is too much.
No, it is. I went to a funeral my first day of senior year in high school because a pastor had convinced a friend of ours to his family to kick him out of his house because he had come out, and they told him that he had demons inside of him that were not allowing him to love Jesus, and that's why he was gay. And he wrote a letter and said the only way that he could figure out on how to end the demon was to end himself. And then I went to this funeral, and this just pissed me off so much. Here we are sitting, our first day back in high school, and we're in the church, the very church that convinced his parents to throw him out of the house for tough love and to tell him that demons were making him gay and that's why he was a horrible person. And they're on the pulpit talking about what a wonderful person he was and how he's going to be saved by Jesus. And I just kept thinking, fuck all of you. I mean, and that was like my last straw. I've never gone back to another Christian church after that.
Yeah, I'm just digesting what you said. Like their child, they weren't accepting their child because of the gay fucking demons inside of them. So he takes his life, and now they got to run back to that same fucking church, and for the
Mhm.
only condolence they have is, oh, he's going to be hanging out, waiting for us in heaven. Of course, there's a lot of Christians actually that believe that taking your own life is an unforgivable sin, but that's not a
Yeah.
consensus. Yeah.
No, it's fucking awful and hypocritical, and it was horrible. And there were just so many people that glossed right over that it was the church that led him to doing that, that told him that he was full of evil. And I stand by this really a lot. Even when I'm dealing with people that I think are awful, I will tell them they're awful. But I will never tell somebody they're full of demons. I will never tell somebody they're evil. I will never tell anyone that they will never have redemption or that they will never be a good person. I'm just not gonna. I'm not gonna do that. I believe there's always a path to being a better person. You just have to want to be a better person. And I'm not going to be the one to tell you that you're doomed and that I don't know.
You're worthless.
And I've had some.
You're
I've had
telling
some.
them that they're worthless. Yeah, they'll never
You are.
change or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And to
Although
me,
I was pretty close last night. I had a guy who claimed to be, said he was a Jewish person who was MAGA, and I asked him what it felt like to be a Jewish person voting for the Nazis. And we brought up Anne Frank. He got really upset. He's like, "You're not allowed to bring up Anne Frank because Anne Frank is one of my people." And I'm like, "Well, one of your people turned in Anne Frank, so I don't think that counts anymore." And yeah, it was just like talking to these people who would absolutely turn in Anne Frank. Like that's who MAGA is right now. And I'm just hoping that I think we're all hoping they wake up and they understand what's going on. But anyways, I'm diverting.
No, no,
I love.
I'm absolutely no. I'm thinking about everything you say, and I really enjoy that you joined to have this conversation because it's
Oh,
important.
thank you. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it too. I'm gonna chat for a little bit. I'm probably gonna go early vote, and then Edna has a doctor's appointment today, so
Oh
you
well,
know
it's
we'll
Sunday
go.
too.
Yeah,
Goldie, I
yeah.
hope you have a great Sunday. Yeah, I was thinking about what you were saying about MAGA, and the thing is it's not just the MAGA. There's so many people. The thing that happened in Germany had to do with
Mhm.
complacency and complicity.
Mhm.
It had to do with people not wanting to stand up. A lot of and just turning a blind eye. So the MAGA are the Nazis, but the people that aren't waking up, the people that are okay seeing brown people being rounded up, the people that are okay with the president never shutting up about trans people hurting little girls, those people are complicit, and they're like the Germans that didn't care about their neighbors being carted away and genocided, murdered. So
No,
anyway,
absolutely.
well,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I don't have to leave right now. I can drop down if you want me to, but
Oh, I thought you. Were you saying you have to leave or you don't have to leave? Because I'm so
no,
confused.
I'm gonna leave in a little bit.
Oh,
I think I've got like 30 minutes, and
oh,
then I've
good,
got to
good.
go early vote. We're gonna vote
Oh,
for Jasmine Crockett today, and
oh,
then
fun.
Texas. You know, God bless Texas. Sometimes they get it right. And they decided that even primaries, all elections, they have early voting. There's no specific poll you have to go to. You can walk into any poll in your entire city and you just hand them your driver's license, they scan it, and then they just print you out your ballot. Why they can't do this on election day, I have no fucking idea. But on early election day, but when it's early voting, you can walk into any poll place pretty much within the state and they'll print you off your specific ballot and you vote and turn it in. Um, and so there's never a line during early voting, and we'll go. It'll take us 5 minutes, and we'll get early voting out of the way.
I think that's great. And I just remembered I was scrolling TikTok, and somebody, it may have been Texas too. A black woman went to early vote, and they wouldn't let her early vote. So they made her go out to the car and get her marriage certificate or something like that. And she was documenting the whole thing. And the reason they don't make it easy like that everywhere, Goldie, is because they don't want people they want people to be disenfranchised. They want people that don't access transportation, that don't. They want those people because those people they don't want them to have power or any say in the decisions that go on in this country. Um,
No, absolutely. I think it should be a national holiday. I think everyone should have the day off. I think that we should do everything we can to encourage people to get out there and vote. And my husband said it for years that they don't want people to vote because it's easier to control people when people are so disinterested and feel disenfranchised that they don't even try to vote.
and
So,
if there's only one place to vote and it's an hour and a half bus ride away, that's going to make it a lot harder, right?
mhm,
Um, yeah. And then the gerrymandering too. That's something
mhm,
I don't pay
that's a
attention
bad
to
one.
how but something that happens is you should be chat. You should understand that they redistrict places based on the demographics, race demographics, voting demographics. They redistrict places to make it so they're going to win. It's just fucking cheating. Republicans cheat all the goddamn time, and I don't know why we always just let them get away with it.
So this is
Uh,
what they did to Jasmine Crockett, and this is why Jasmine Crockett is running for the Senate because right now she's in the House, and they literally cut up her district for the House. And I want to say I looked at the map. So Jasmine is in Dallas, and typically she was like a part of Dallas County, and they grabbed a part north of Dallas and south of Dallas that are like majority white people, and drew like this really skinny corridor line, like no bigger than a road, through both of those, and said that's her new district. And it took out all of the people of color that had been voting for Jasmine Crockett.
Wild.
And So she has no shot for the Senate. I'm going to disagree with that, Ricardo. We just had a special election in Texas that went for Trump in 2024, and they lost to Trump by 30 fucking points just last month. Like, that tells me that there are people, even hardcore Trumpers, that are just tired of all of this. And again, we are the state that had Ann Richards. Guys, our governor was fucking Ann Richards. And she was a Democrat that carried a rifle. And she was a little lady with gray hair that spoke her fucking mind. And that's what we need. Texans will vote for somebody who speaks their fucking mind. And I think Jasmine is the person to do it. We've had some problems lately. And I think that Kamala Harris got into this too, where we tell women when they're running for politics, smile, be nice, don't try to be too cunty, watch your language, don't look like the angry black woman. And so they monitor and they act differently than we've seen them act before, right? Like we saw Kamala Harris. We knew that she could take it, and that like when she was in those Senate hearings, she had things to say in rebuttals, right? And we loved all that about her. When she ran for president, she got nicer, more congenial. And I think that turned a lot of people off who were like really supporting her.
Oh,
And I'm afraid that I don't want Jasmine Crockett to be the same way. I want Jasmine Crockett to stay spicy. And I think Texans will vote for spicy.
Well, I think people, I think oftentimes assertive women are called like bitches, and you said too cunty, right? But at the end of the day, I think assertive women, at least me personally, I respect assertive women, and I was raised by an assertive woman, and when an assertive woman speaks, I listen. So if they're like that in Texas, I think that's great.
Right.
Um,
Yep. Who said that? Clara. Yeah, you're right. Ann's daughter, she ran Planned Parenthood for over a decade until she got diagnosed with cancer, and unfortunately, I think she unalived as well. But she had so many threats against her because, again, I loved her, and having Ann Richards as your mom means that you're probably going to be pretty outspoken, and she was pretty outspoken about the need for Planned Parenthood. And it got to the point where she had to hire a special security team that would just open her mail at a separate location from her house. Yeah, she ran Planned Parenthood. She was the head of Planned Parenthood. And they tried everything. Yeah. The people who are pro-life, let's just get this. The people who fight for pro-life and want to save the babies have no problem taking out adults.
Oh, once the babies get here, they don't want to contribute anything. If they
No,
don't
they
want,
don't.
yeah,
Right.
God forbid that baby, his parents are foreign born, or they don't have access to food or medical care. They don't want to foot that bill, right? Fuck those parents with those poor kids. But the fetuses, we love the fetuses.
Right. Highly recommend everyone watch After Tiller. I don't think it's on Netflix anymore. I think you have to go find it. So After Tiller was what happened. We had Dr. Tiller who performed medically necessary late-term abortions. And by that means that he had a clinic. I think he had 2 clinics. And you had to get a referral to the clinics by your OBGYN because something was wrong with your pregnancy. And then they would review your file and they would decide if they would even accept the referral. If they accepted the referral, then you had to go in for another appointment. Usually you had to travel out of state because we only have 5 doctors now in the entire United States that perform medically necessary abortion. Like, that's how much of a difficult surgery this is and how many states have banned this, even though it saves women's lives. Like, this isn't something an ER doctor is going to be able to do and be able to protect you, your uterus, everything that's going on appropriately. So most women have
I
to
was
travel out of
absolutely. I'm
state.
sorry. I didn't mean to interject. I was.
No, go
Um,
ahead.
no, I wanted to ask you, and I didn't need to because and then I interrupted you because I don't know a lot about late term abortions, but I listen. There's a guy from Texas I listen to that is conservative, and he talks about, oh, we just don't, they want to have the abortion at 9 months, and I know that there's no women. They make it sound like, oh, the woman decides that 8.5 months into the pregnancy, fuck that, man, I'm going to get an abortion or something ridiculous. Um,
Right.
that we need to have late term abortions be legal because there's going to be decisions that aren't your fucking business, medical decisions that nobody wants to have to make that sometimes happen. But I don't know the facts, Goldie. That's why I love that you joined. And let me see if this person's an adult. Let me see if
So,
this person's an adult.
oh
Real
yeah,
quick.
yeah.
Are you an
Yeah,
adult?
go
Who
ahead.
are you? And are you an adult new guest? Thanks for being muted.
Yep, I am 38.
You're 38. I don't know. What did you join to say briefly, Dell? Is it Dell or OEL? I'm looking. Well,
It's Leo.
okay, Leo. What
Oh,
did
Just wondering.
Leo,
is,
why are you stalking me?
I'm just dropping him down. He's got a woman and a dog yelling at him. What the hell's going on, Leo? Is
So
that Leo
Leo,
Debates? Was that the minor?
Leo is
Leo?
unhoused. I will tell you right now. So Leo is called Brian. His real name is Brian Puckett. He is unhoused.
Oh,
He does have mental issues that I hope that he can get help for. I know he's not in the best of spots a lot of times. I have tried to gentle parent him and be nice. Um, Lately though, Leo created a fake account, started reporting my lives, started telling people the FBI were going to come and arrest me, um, because of what I say on TikTok, stuff like that. So, Leo, I'm not talking to you right now until you apologize for all that kind of stuff. You have to
okay.
make amends.
I thought it was that Leo Debates who used to lie about his age and be a minor having debates or something. I didn't know. I didn't know who it was.
Yeah, no,
And
this is just he's just Brian Puckett. Yeah,
Brian,
he's
it's
been.
Brian
I will
Puckett.
tell you guys, Brian has gotten better. When I first got on TikTok, Brian would crash out within the first 30 seconds and would just yell and scream about how women are murderers.
Oh my goodness.
And that's what they would say. So they don't crash out as fast anymore. I feel like they're probably getting in a better headspace. And I hope that just continues to improve. But again, gentle parenting means that I'm not going to talk to Leo until Leo can tell me what's going on about telling people that they need to arrest me. So, anyways, late-term abortions after Teller. I remind people that a late-term abortion officially starts after viability, and that tends to be after 28 weeks. Most clinics will not perform abortions after 28 weeks. It's considered a specialized surgery, and those will start at $10,000. That doesn't include the travel, that doesn't include the hotels, that doesn't include everything else that you have to set up for, right? So now when
I
people
want to
come,
interject. I want to because you
yeah, yeah,
said $10,000. Is there insurance that would cover something like that? Because
rarely. Some insurance does, but like Texas has banned it from that. Hey,
God,
Paige.
Texas makes me mad sometimes. Texas makes me
Right,
mad.
right,
Um,
right. So a lot of states are banning. They do ban it, and so this is out of pocket, medically necessary. And after Tiller, I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty because no one's really interested in that. But I would just encourage you. It follows the patients who are seeking this kind of abortion and this kind of medical surgery. And I just encourage everybody, if you're pro-life, if you're pro-choice, to watch the movie and become a little bit more educated on that.
oh, and you know what? I looked it up real quick. It's free on Amazon Prime, and I have Amazon Prime
Oh,
Video.
good.
I only have Netflix and Prime. They're trying to sell. They try to sell you stuff for like $5 a month now for a couple months. I might. I don't watch. I hardly stream, but I'm going to actually hit watch and have a tab open for it because I
Oh,
need
good.
something. I love documentaries too. I absolutely haven't watched a good documentary. Goldie, do you like documentaries?
I do.
Um, I tell people to watch this. This is an older one. It's called "Deliver Us from Evil," and it's a documentary about um, a Catholic preacher, Irish Catholic priest from Ireland that went around devastating families systematically because the church enabled it. And they interview him and the families, and they're interviewing him in Ireland. Never got in trouble. He's walking around a children's playground talking about who he is, right? And to me, that's the best thing to watch to understand what happened in the Catholic Church, and it really impacted me. Like, I'm
Mm.
sensitive. It really impacted me. So, hey, Paige, thanks for joining. How are you?
I'm okay. Going about my day. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. you know what? This morning I made a background because a few weeks ago, and I don't have much of a filter. I was having a conversation with Chris online, and they mentioned someone named Hayden, who's someone I used to follow. And if I asked if I followed Hayden, and I followed Hayden for years, and I said I unfollowed Hayden because I was listening to them have a live, and she said multiple times to a guest to KYS, and they take your worthless life, and then they asked the audience, hey, do you think it's okay that I'm saying this? And I was on my phone looking at it at the time, and I said I don't want to hear it on my phone, but I saw a lot of people say it was okay. So and the reason that your name came up during that conversation with Chris is a night or two before, and I wasn't paying too much attention. I was kind of dozing in and out. I'm pretty sure I heard you say it, and I prefaced it by saying I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure I heard Paige say it, and I went into a little detail with Chris about how it's there's people listening, and I've been in a terrible space where I have ideation, terrible ideation, and an internal voice telling me to take my life, and I think that's a line too far. And anyways, nobody ever really talked to me about it. Somebody, a moderator said somebody joined a live that you were on and said, "Oh, Santa's talking about you," and it was like a gossipy thing. And then I noticed that you unfollowed me, and I don't know. But the thing is, though, I'm not I'm not here to like hold people accountable for their language necessarily, because I'm this first one I think is terrible, but it's not about me being like, oh, I'm perfect and I don't say anything wrong. And I would love to have a conversation about like punching up and punching down. I feel this is a thing that happens quite a lot too. And I'm pretty sure I was listening to Reggie's live, and you accused someone of having a micro penis, and that's literally a very rare intersex condition, which would impact someone in our community. And then I think it's terrible that we advocate for trans people and say that your genitals, don't make your identity. And we absolutely know that there's trans men who suffer bottom dysphoria, who feel very much a certain way because our society pushes this narrative that you need to have a big, strong phallus to be worth anything. And to me, these are all things I consider hypocritical. So,
Wait, you're saying I said something about a micro penis? Or Reggie?
maybe a small dick on Reggie's live. You know what? I don't want to misspeak for you. I don't got receipts. I don't know if you say micro penis or micro peen. And if you don't have to address it. The thing that I'm pretty sure I heard was KYS, but this is like genital shaming is absolutely body shaming, and it's something that happens a lot. I personally think that taking Trump's piggy thing, there's a lot of people in America, a lot of listeners that struggle with eating disorders and their weight. And literally 5 minutes after you call someone piggy to silence them, somebody else on the panel says, "Oh, you're being fat phobic. You're being fat phobic." So to me, I just think it makes us look like hypocrites. And I feel like people have a lot of opinions about my space that I always set for adults. So hopefully no one underage is listening. And I just wanted to call out things that I don't like that I hear. This is my opinion.
Okay, so I'll start with the quiet piggy. That's something that is very misogynistic that is said to women a lot.
Yeah. Well, no, not a
Yeah.
lot. Not to women a lot.
No. I'm a woman, and it is said a lot to women.
Oh God.
And
I
when
thought- I
he
thought Trump
says,
was- I thought
and
Trump
when
was-
he says "quiet piggy" to a woman and a whole bunch of men on Air Force One
Yeah, it's
said
disgusting.
nothing. They said nothing. Nothing happened, right?
Yeah.
Then I'm like, oh, I guess it's fair game. We're just going to say that. I have literally told people, do not say that to women, because that is something that men say to women,
Okay.
right? So I'm reclaiming that, and I'm seeing how men feel about being called that. I have never, ever said that to a woman. I reserve it for men, and I give it back to them. I reclaim it, and I'm giving it back to them. It has nothing to do with fat phobia or body shaming.
Okay.
And I always, not always, that's a lie. I don't always say, hey, don't blame me, blame Trump. But I am going to reclaim that.
Well, I'll tell you, I I was disgusted when Trump said it. Yeah, and fucking everybody has their tail between their legs when Trump says any disgusting thing. Literally, he's doing loud defecations in front of people. Um, I didn't realize that was a go-to for men. I haven't heard a man go around calling some random woman a piggy. It's so fucking disgusting. But I'll tell you, that's the conversation about punching up and punching down. And you're saying it's not fat phobic. When I was a precocious, gifted middle schooler, we read The Lord of the Flies, and because I was the nerdy fat kid and wasn't and the one without a church, the gifted bullies would draw pictures of me and call me picky and stuff, and so it makes me cringe personally when I hear it, and that's why it's on the list, right? But it does to me. It falls under hypocrisy because I know there's people like me, and I'm sure there's women that have been called piggy that still it might sting a little bit. But if you feel like you're reappropriating and you're silencing men, the thing is too, like if they're a fit man or a skinny man, it wouldn't mean a fucking thing to them, right? It's only the fat men that might make them feel a certain way. And then, part of the conversation here is, I set my space. I always set it for 18 and over. There's going to be young men. There's going to be boys, 12-year-old boys going through puberty. We're hearing how your size makes you a good man, hearing of silencing men with piggy. And I'm not trying to defend nasty men, but then these boys grow up to be nasty men, and they feel insecure about themselves, and they go around calling women piggy, possibly. But yeah, that's just something I put up there because it does feel hypocritical, and I do hear people after that sentiment is used. I literally hear somebody else say, "Oh, some nasty man gets on the thing and says something about someone's weight. Oh, you're being fast phobic, you piece of shit." You know what I mean? It seems like a double standard. But that's the whole thing. I prefaced, you weren't here. I already prefaced, I'm in a position where there's very few demographics that I could punch up to, basically everything. And so this might be projection, when I hear things, I think about other people and demographics and how it might impact them. And I also, but I don't understand it because if I, I can't, you know what I'm saying? I'm an old white man. So the only people I could punch up to is like the fucking leaders and the cis het white men, basically.
Well, I'm punching to the male chauvinist pigs. Have you heard that expression? Male chauvinist pigs?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. And then moving on to the KYS, I said to somebody, just die. Just go die. That's what I said to them.
Okay.
After they sat and sexually, explicitly harassed me, I said, just go die. And then, because I did watch your video, which was interesting. You sent me the video, but you sent me no DM saying what this was about. So I was just kind of piecing it together. Hold on one second, please. Hold on.
Sorry, you're right.
Hold on one second.
I'll forget, but you're
and
fine.
so I said to that person, just go die. But let me ask you, when our other mutuals say things like go play in traffic, jump off a bridge. And you were in a live the other night of a mutual of ours who, one of our mutuals, my very good mutual, said, just go jump off a bridge. And you were there. You were in that live. Now, are you calling him to the carpet?
Well, you know what? I was talking about Brandon already. And I want to apologize, Paige, because I prefaced the whole conversation with the thing about Hayden. I was absolutely hearing them tell the person KYS multiple times. I was like dozing in and out on the floor listening to a TikTok live that you were in, and I thought you used the specific language KYS. And the thing is, this is why it's subjective. Like, to me, that's a different thing than like, oh, I hope you die. Even, I don't think you're supposed to. It used to be the trigger was don't tell people I hope you get cancer, right? So people didn't say it, but to me that's different. And to say Joe jump in traffic, and this is what I said earlier, it absolutely is still bullying. It's absolutely still bullying, but it's, to me, if you were to say, oh, I hope you make shitty choices, or oh, I hope a car runs you over, that's not the same as what I heard, not you, but somebody say on the app a while ago now, you need to take your worthless life. The world would be better off without you, right? Those are different things, but the hypocrisy is still there, Paige, because 5 minutes later, after saying go jump in traffic, the conversation goes to, oh, LGBTQ inclusive education is anti-bullying. And we've seen the statistics, it's anti-bullying. And I grew up in an era where the gay kids were being told to take their lives constantly.
Yeah, if somebody is sexually harassing me, I don't care. I will
Well,
bully them back. See, I'm not going to sit and be like, oh, okay, like not address it at all. I am afforded to react to that abuse. And my reaction at that time, that one time you're talking about,
yeah.
was just go die. Yeah, and
Okay. Well, I
I'm
misheard it,
afforded
Paige.
that.
No, I misheard it, and I prefaced it without saying I didn't understand the precursor conversation. I wasn't paying too much attention. And what perked my ears and woke me up enough from my dream state, because I held on to it for a day or two, was I think I heard her say KYS, and I just didn't like that. But if you didn't say that, that's fine. And I'm like I said, I don't know what nasty thing they said to you. I go live. I don't know if you watch my lives. People call me the most disgusting kind of child predator, nasty slurs every fucking day. um, I haven't told anyone to take their life yet, but I do say things, thoughtless things, unkind things, inappropriate things. That's why I always set my lives for adults only, because it's the collateral damage, Paige. It's not the asshole. I don't know if you really want that person actually to go home, because there's somebody that has maybe a family, people that love them. I don't know if you actually mean it, but the collateral damage is the people that are suffering from ideation, that are listening to these spaces. That that that's what I think. That's what I think. You know.
Yeah, that's I've had I and I can understand that. I've had ideation and I've talked about this many times since I was a small child, been on medication for it since I was a small child. But I'm not ever going to like apologize for a reactive abuse. I don't like it. I agree. I don't like when people say KYS. I don't like it. I understand why they do it, but I don't like it. But here's the thing, I don't tone police them. If that's their reaction to the abuse that they have just had to sit through, then that's their reaction. And my friends know this about me because we've had this talk. There was a huge big drama blow up years ago about a mutual of mine, a friend of mine who told a GC to unalive themselves. And I happened to be on that panel that night. And I immediately went and talked to that person briefly, because it was like really early. It was actually super early in the morning. And they know I don't like it. However, I don't police them.
Yeah.
I understand where people are coming from, and like when you take the neo-Nazis on here, right, and things like that, get the wall, that's fine. But I just don't police them. When
No,
I don't like when my friends do behaviors that I don't like, we can talk about it. We can deconstruct it, break it down. But I'm not making videos about them.
I
I'm
didn't say
actually
your
having
name. I didn't say your name in
conversations.
that video, Paige. I didn't say your name in that video, and I only clipped the video because somebody, I can't even think of their name, starts with a J. Somebody, my moderator said somebody joined in that you heard Oksana's talking shit about you or something, and I thought I'll just make the video, and I probably should have written a message. I'm neuroatypical. Sometimes I miss the easiest steps. I wanted to tell you about tone policing. So like there's someone on this app whose hobby is telling gender critical people that she's coming for them and they should, like, just the nastiest things. But the thing is, she's a black trans woman and she doesn't have a platform where she says, where it's purporting to advocate for the community and even the young people in the community too. So and this isn't like I get the whole idea for tone policing. I'm not on Discord. And I don't talk to people a lot, and I felt compelled to do it this morning, just to have this conversation. And it's not about God. I was telling Goldie I can't hold anybody fucking accountable for things they say. I mean, listen to Gay say I don't know. So, but that's something that hurts, and I feel like, oh, I made that video. You didn't send anything back to me, and then and I heard people were talking about me, and I saw it coming when I mentioned, because I was talking to Chris when I mentioned your name. I'm like, oh shit, here I am trying to not participate in gossiping, and now I'm going to gossip, and then the whole thing starts. So maybe I just wanted to clear the air, Paige. But as somebody that goes live, I'm a fucking amateur. I've somebody that's vocal about my mental illness, and I definitely have impulse control issues, and I could say absolutely unkind things. So it's not me saying I'm better than you. And like I said, I don't have the opera. I don't. I don't have many. I don't get to punch up very often. Like I said, there's not a lot of people above the old white man that I could punch up to. So when I see somebody punching up and they're punching up to somebody it's yeah. But the point you made about calling only men piggy, I get that. I still am going to cringe every time I hear it. I absolutely cringe every time I hear it. I'm like, oh, it's because I was called piggy as a kid, right? And so yeah, but I get that, and that's why it was third on the list. I really wish our side would stop micro genital shaming, just because to me it sounds like absolute hypocrisy when we're talking about not being defined by your genitals, and men don't have to have dicks to be valid. You know what I mean? And that's actually a live I did years ago. I did a live about size. Thinking about bringing it back. But anyways, Paige, I want you to know I have zero animosity about you or for you. I don't even know much about you, actually. I have a hard time keeping up on stuff about people, and I think you keep yourself mysterious, which is probably a smart move. I have a digital footprint as big as the Grand Canyon, and I know that's not for everyone. Oh,
Yeah, the whole micro penis thing, I'm not even addressing. I don't really like. I don't like talking about penises that much. I don't really care, to be honest with you. Like
okay.
the
Good.
micro penis thing.
Well, no, the thing is people bring
I
up dick size
don't
all the
say micro
time.
penis. If I say small, like you have a small dick, like whatever. Here's the thing, Santa, is social media, like TikTok is brutal. It really is. It can be very ugly out here. And there are lives that I can watch and I'm like, yeah, it's totally fine. And then there are lives that I can't watch, right? And I just I scroll away, like the ones that I can't because of either the language that they're using, the topic that they're talking about. I'm just like, yeah, whatever, not interested, and I just scroll on, find another live to listen to or do whatever. But I do try to understand where certain people come from when the way they react to certain things.
Sure.
And I do, when I hear my mutual say something out of pocket, I take it 1-to-1. I'm not saying I'm not saying anything about you. So don't personalize this, right? Don't internalize this. I'm just explaining myself because you said you don't know me. Now you're going to know me a little bit more than you did prior.
I think all I know about you is you're a dog owner, a queer dog owner. I'm trying to think things.
I don't own a dog.
Oh, I thought are you a pet owner?
I have a cat.
Okay, you showed your cat. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a cat person too. Sorry to mess. I know I shouldn't have messed that up. I hope my cats aren't listening.
So, for instance, I had a mutual. She said the word boy to a black man on a panel. This happened a couple months ago. And she didn't mean it in a racist way, but we know that it is a racist trope. So I took it to Discord and it was like, hey, why don't you, I don't know if you realize that you say that because you know how we use boy sometimes, like, boy, get out of here. And I had a conversation with her and just was like, hey, just want to remind you, like, I don't know if you realize you did this, blah, 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 blah. And she didn't realize she had done that. And that was it, right? Talked about it. That was all. Now and this is how we hold people accountable. Accountability lives is not real. This is not the real world. In real life, you would talk to that person. You're not evasive, you're direct with your communication, concise and clear. And you absolutely let somebody know what the objective is. But accountability and call out lives are ridiculous. And then when this app finally goes away, I hope that wherever it is that everybody else migrates to, that this call out accountability live bullshit does not carry over to that. We need to start acting like fucking adults. Adults, you would talk to somebody in real life. You and I would talk to each other. If you had a problem with me telling someone who sexually explicitly harassed me, you know what? Go die. When I said that to him and that would upset you, you would approach me. I don't care if you don't
First
know
off,
me or not. You
I
can
don't know you.
DM
I don't know
somebody.
you, and I absolutely prefaced it by saying, and I was wrong. If you didn't say kill yourself, if you said go die, I hope you die. Whatever, that's different. I woke up from a daydream.
Didn't say I hope you die. I just said go die.
Okay, well, what registered in my head was KYS, and I didn't say anything about it, and then it came up organically, and then I thought I was participating in gossiping, and I don't know you, but I'll tell you, I think that absolutely it's better to have a conversation in the open about a misunderstanding. I was just scrolling TikTok about shit between Parker and them, and like private conversation, blah blah blah. I feel like the air's been cleared a lot, Paige. And back in the day, I called out Christy for being a nasty racist, and I called out Raw Real for being a nasty racist, and I chased Raw Real off the app. He called a black woman a gorilla multiple times, and I clipped it. Christy multiple times said she wanted to sodomize a gay black man with a burning hot curling iron, and she turned around and saying, "Oh, that's the same as saying I want to put my foot up your ass," right? The thing is I agree, it's drama, it's bullshit, but I don't know how to get a hold of you people. In my intuition is like, I wish people would do like you said, but not necessarily in private. If somebody hears something that I say that they don't like, and I gotta address something in the comments now because I've said the T slur in my life, I'll tell you, I think people have talked about it. I don't think people heard it, and that's a conversation, and that's something that I want to do better about. But the context is I'm having a conversation with someone, and ends up being an asshole, and they say that T slur, not they're not calling me it, but they're saying it, right, and they're saying it to try to like shut down the conversation, and the thing is too, they're having this conversation with me using the language trans person or trans woman, and we absolutely know that the T slurs become ubiquitous. My thoughtless clapback was something along the lines of, "Oh, you love those T slurs, right? You can't fucking stop talking about them." But I want to say very clearly a couple things. I use the word fag and faggot on my life. I've been called it my whole life. Um, Back in the day when I came out, nobody was calling trans people the T slur. We were calling the chasers the T slurs, the T slur chasers. Nobody back then was having a conversation about how trans women were a different part of the community, and we all, one's attraction and one's gender identity, because we were all just queer, trying to like cling to each other. And I'm going to do a better job about that language, because I'm already having this conversation in my head, because I'm like, well, because I'm thinking I don't want to hurt listeners, but if the bad people just said it and I say it back, is that hurting the listeners, right? So that's the conversation I'd love to have with people, because I want people that are listening and care about what I say, that and align in my group, align with me in my group. I want them to tell me what I did so I could do better. Because to me, I'm absolutely thinking this is something I've been getting better at, and I want to get better at.
So, okay, just for clarification. So you said the T slur on your live recently? Is that what you're addressing?
Somebody in the comments, it wasn't too recently. It was a couple months ago, maybe a month or two ago. I have a terrible recollection. Yeah, I did.
Oh,
And I did a call out live for myself, Paige. A couple days ago, I tried to do a call out live to address that, and then like I think, because I want people, instead of thinking horrible things about me, I had a moderator. Now I'm remembering. I had a moderator, and we were, having conversations on Facebook Messenger, video calls and stuff, and she was in a place where she wanted to start over, and I was looking for a roommate. So we were talking about her, because there's Amazon like a few minutes away, relocating here. And then there was a fallout between us, because she heard I felt something about a breakup or some bullshit, right? Anyway, so she called me a diabolical woman hater on Messenger and blocked me. And then maybe a few days or a week later, she sent me a threatening message in the Cash App request. And then it came up again. and I just ignored it the whole time. Months and months I've ignored it. And then the thing is I wanted to address it because it's been months and months, and it's not like something that should be heated, but it's something like I felt at the time. I felt a little threatened, a little uneasy. I felt like she was going to dox me. I don't know if she doxed me, but in the comments there would be references to local areas of mine. I'm not too worried about that necessarily, but I still suspect that she's going around saying disgusting, awful things about me. She had given me a because I was getting in trouble all the time. She gave me like one of her backup accounts, and I'm so stupid. I don't know if she has my passwords or not. I'm the old person that's been using the same password for a decade. So yeah, that account that she gave me this morning, I've turned it off or
Hey,
whatever.
Santa, you're getting kind of messy on your public live.
Okay, thank you, Goldie. I'm just rambling. I was telling Paige about something. Yeah,
You're
I'm
okay.
terrible. That's me not having a filter, and I'm very much. I think it's my neuroatypical. I don't think it's a deficit necessarily, but I'm neuroatypical, and here I am just fucking rambling. The live that I did calling out myself, I posted on my YouTube channel, which I have like one follower. If you wanted to see, it actually is me addressing because I don't know if anyone was listening. I got 14 years ago, I had my second manic psychotic episode, and I couldn't get help because of where I live and the false assumption that I was abusing substances and making myself manic and psychotic. And I wasn't violent. I was always fantastic. My psychosis, sometimes very scary. My point is I eventually got committed to a mental hospital, and the, there was an altercation in the mental hospital, and I ended up going to jail, going straight from the, being tied down to a bed, being pumped with antipsychotics, to being in an isolation jail room. And I took an Alford plea for a felony C assault. And so my moderator found that information. That was the message she was sending me, was something to do about my felony assault conviction years ago. I'm going to add a felony C assault is the same as if you tell someone I'm going to kill you. That's a felony C assault. And I took an Alford plea, which means even though I have a conviction, I can maintain my innocence, and the court can't say I was guilty of it. It's just a little legal loophole for the mentally ill people that don't want to plead guilty in the jail, but they're desperate to get out. You know what I'm saying? So like I didn't say anything about it because it happened months ago, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to say him gossiping, and I still think she's going around hating on me. And she never even talked to me about what I felt. She heard I felt a certain way, and you know what? That's the bullshit that happens on TikTok, and that's why I don't reach out to people personally or try to, because I just don't have the time I don't have it in my head. I can't do it. So, anyways, Goldie, I appreciate you because you redirected me a couple times in the live, and I really appreciate your conversation. And so I appreciate, and you know what? I would love somebody to tell me to shut the fuck up or to. Sometimes I want to play with the opposition too long. Sometimes I want to play with the opposition too long. Not a good look. I'm doing my own crash out counter because I don't want to crash out anymore. My crash outs aren't as bad as theirs, but it's still like I lose my composure. It's almost like they got a one up on you, right? So anyway, Paige, I want to thank you for joining. I'm not sure if you joined. I feel like some air was cleared. I think. You know what, you have a platform. People listen to you. You do a good job, and I wanted you to know I was trying to clear the air about the whole thing, and it was misunderstanding because I woke up from a days long enough to think, oh, and I didn't know any of the context, and so you gave me context. People are disgusting. I'm not worried about it, and at the end of the day, yeah, I'm going to keep on doing my thing, and everybody gets to play on their phone like they want to.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Take care,
I
Paige.
really appreciate
It was
it.
good seeing you.
Oh,
I do think that these are good things to talk about. I do think that we need to talk about the language that we use. In our generation, we had a lot of things that we said that were never thought about, and we never thought about where those words came from and the deeper meaning of those words. We just said those words to I don't know, be edgy, to be cool. They were just things you said without thinking about it, and we're learning how to do better.
and Goldie, that's absolutely great. And I was thinking, because this happens a lot on this app, we pay close attention to the people that are. This is something maybe more that on our side than the other side. We listen so much to what people say, and sometimes we miss the bigger picture, or we focus on something bad that they say, and say, oh, they're not doing a good job. They shouldn't be speaking up for us. The other side, they say disgusting, nasty things, and they get applauded. The more nasty fucking thing somebody says, they're like, yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
exactly. So they double
They
down.
do.
And so to me, it's like we kind of, it's a in the like the
Yeah.
infighting and the nitpicking and like about
I mean,
spaces.
Santana's
No,
really right when he says the left eats their own. Like, we sometimes we get so righteous that we overlook the greater good and we eat our own. Instead of calling people out and maybe asking people to do better, I don't know. Yeah, we do the opposite of like ignoring it. MAGA ignores it. MAGA's okay with it.
yeah, they
And we go
celebrate it
the
or they
complete
ignore it. Yeah,
opposite,
they'll. Oh, and
right? But
I'm going to say that earlier
see,
about Maggie. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Goldie.
oh, I was just seeing Arya talking down here and saying that they will say the R word because they think it's funny and they don't care.
Uh,
And I'm just going to tell you guys, and I think Hector and Santana have a good way of saying this. I'm never going to want to cause harm over just a word. I'm never going to fight for a word or to say a word that I know is harmful. And we know that the R word harms people. We know that if you think that using diminishing language toward people who are mentally disabled and you're othering people, that in the long term, it's harmful. It's not only makes you look like a lesser person, but it just it continues how do I want to say this? It continues in our culture diminishing people who don't need to be diminished. We have such a stigma against mental health and getting the care that you need. And when you start using the R word as a slur just because you think it's funny, then you're just playing into that trope. And
I,
I feel like you can do better.
I hate the R. I hate the R slur. And the thing is it's been around a long time. There was a time, I think in the 90s maybe, that it was everybody's go-to adjective. And I'm old enough to
Yeah.
remember developmentally disabled children on the playground, getting called the R slur, like that's, and to me that hurts. When my niece and nephew, when I would watch my niece and nephew when they were little, I'd tell them, "Hey, that's the one word you can't say." And I told them, everybody comes to this world to learn. There's certain very few people that actually come here to teach, and they go right to heaven. Right? They were already indoctrinated in Christian mythology.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think that's the absolute most disgusting. One of the most disgusting slurs, and ableism, I think, is going to be the last social, like terrible social vestige that we could rid ourselves of, because our society is so replete with ableism. I wanted to say about what you were saying about Trump. You mentioned early on that it's getting exhausting for them, and because he doesn't stop fucking up, he doesn't stop saying disgusting things. There's people hosting lives about how it's okay to Photoshop our president, our black president and first lady onto gorillas. Like, oh, that's because they every time he does something, they have to like go through those gymnastics to support him. And I hate MAGA. I hate MAGA. Um,
Right. Hey, Molly, this isn't my page, so I'm not going to block people. I'm just an honorary mod. But I don't think that we should block Arya just for saying that they don't have a problem saying the R word. I think that
mm,
that's the kind of comment that I like to highlight, that I like to draw discussion, that I like to talk about. But if they say it up on the panel, or if they use the actual R word, then they will be muted. Like, we're not going to. Oh, she's blocked. All right, so maybe take care of it. They're blocked. So I
maybe
have a really lenient block. People get away with a lot of shit on my page until my mods go feral. I'm gonna be so for honest, and I don't see a lot of the stuff going on in the comments because I don't watch the comments. But
yeah. Oh, go ahead,
yeah,
Goldie.
Molly. Well, I just disagree. I if Here's the deal. I talk to a lot of people on our side, who will say people would never use that word because they think it's funny. They don't care about, like, that's not something that would happen. But it is. And if we block all the people who disagree with us, if we block all the people who have different opinions and think the R word is funny, then we're blocking that conversation. I know. That's okay.
Well,
I'm okay with you thinking I panel the worst people. I panel a lot of people who have different opinions.
I'm going to interject. I want to interject and say that it is your space, and it's your take on what the people that you want to reach, the people that you're going to host, and the idea that we're going to say, oh, Goldie is problematic when there's so many LGBTQ people. I could think of a few gay men. Their whole fucking page is about how trans people should go and how queer people and trans people, they need kicked out and we're not mentally ill, and they get accolades and huge followings. You just ignore and block those people. But Goldie here, she's problematic for the
Well,
community. Think about the people in the community that are advocating against us, not the amateurs on their phones that are doing their best having random conversations with people you would never have the fucking nerve to invite on your cell phone. Think about that.
the problem I have with things like what Molly said, and again, this is not a reason I would never block Molly because of this, but I'm not going to tell people who they should put on their panel. And I'm not going to tell people I'm not going to be your friends because of who you're friends with. Like, that's just not who I'm going to be. Hey, kiddo, what's going on?
Chat, there's 79 of us here. I'm going to end the stream and get outside. My back is killing me. It's either too much setting or too much humping. It could be both. It could be both at this point. Anyway, I really appreciate y'all hanging out. If you haven't followed me, I'm Gay Santa. She goes live every day. She's the gayest Santa on TikTok. Who's that? I'm her. I'm Gay Santa. I appreciate you being here. Thank you, Clara. Thank you. It is a beautiful day, baby cakes. It's a beautiful day. Maybe I'll make a video while I'm walking. I don't know. I don't want to take myself out of my nature to make a little video. Show everybody how pretty it is. Thank you, Plants and Gender. Thank you. Goldie, I love that you're hanging out. You prefaced the conversation saying you got stuff to do today. So I think that stuff is commencing for you. And I'm going to end the stream. I just want to say I absolutely appreciate you. And I think you have a great space and a fun space. And that's not a lot of people can't provide
Sorry,
that,
guys.
Goldie.
Oh, yeah. No, we're good. Sorry, my kiddo came in. Well, my kiddo from another mother came in. I have a chaotic household, guys. So, rent is very high in Austin, and we are fortunate enough to have a pretty good size rental. So we have our adult children living with us and their boyfriend. So now the boyfriend just got a job in Austin and was living in a different city. So now I've got both my sons and my son's boyfriend all living here along, with my husband and us and the dog. And so I like it. It keeps us busy. It would be very quiet if all the kids had already moved out. And I gotta tell you what, when your kids still live with you, they still go to the store and get things for you. And they
sure.
make you dinner, guys. When you have a 24-year-old living with you, sometimes they make hand roasted chicken soup that's absolutely delicious. And they simmer it all day long and they put vegetables in it and do the whole broth thing. And I don't have to cook.
I don't know how to make chicken noodle soup, but I have some chicken breasts in the fridge. I need to do
So they
something.
so they had gotten a rotisserie chicken, and then they found a recipe where you eat what you want off the rotisserie chicken, and then instead of throwing it away, you boil the carcass with like a bunch of vegetables and actually make a chicken broth,
Oh.
and then you put more spices. I don't know what they did. They cooked. It messed up the whole kitchen, but it was delicious. And
Did they clean up the mess? That's an important question.
we're still working on that part.
We're still working
We're
on
working
that.
on that
That's
part. But
essential. Yeah, making soup messes the whole kitchen up.
yeah, but I got to eat the soup, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And then there's still kiddos, and I'm still the mom. So so they're going to they're probably going to help me get Edna in the car today, which is another benefit of having big old adult boys. For those who don't know, Edna's my now 90-pound house hippo, and she's still limping. And so the doctors want to see her and they're going to go for a check and we're going to figure out why she's limping. She is doing better. She was in hospital for 3 or 4 days, but now she's eating. She still has energy. She's not lethargic, but she's still limping. So we got to figure out what's going on. Popcorn, you got to just stop. I know that you think that, but that's so cute.
Miss
Anyways,
Andre, oh no, those poor men. Is that Miss Andre as a person, or are you talking about the concept of Miss Andre?
well, there's a commentator, a content provider called Miss Andre, and now she goes by Miss Ambrose. And I see her on lives occasionally. I used to really follow her. I was part of the Discord, but there were some allegations of some SA and harassment, and so I stopped going there. So Popcorn likes to talk a lot. It's recorded. Well, fuck, bring me the recording. Great, let me know. Let me see the recording. I'd love to hear it. Anyways,
Goldie,
this is another thing. This is the thing where people had Goldberry at her wedding. Yeah, absolutely. Love that. I don't know when that happened, but sure.
Oh,
This is
go
the
ahead,
thing.
Goldie.
They're like, I can't believe that you would talk to this other person on TikTok that I don't like. And so I'm going to just crash out and talk about. Well,
Yeah.
if you want to take me seriously, Popcorn, I love that for you. So, yeah, it's just, let people panel who they want. Let people be friends with who they want.
Yeah.
You get to decide that you're going to be which person you're going to be friends with, but I'm not going to dictate who other people can be friends with if they want to talk to me. I just think that's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Goldie, I tell people, don't tell me how to play on my phone. Don't tell me how to. I absolutely have paid attention to how the rest of you conduct yourselves on your phone. I've seen that. I've seen how the rest of you conduct yourself in your spaces and on panels.
Right.
So don't worry about how I play on my phone. I'm just an old gay queer playing on my phone. So.
Oh, goodness. Well, Popcorn, you keep saying that, but they've never sent me the recording. I really want to see the recording.
Oh God.
I want to know when I let it slip. Because I try to keep all my secrets so close to my chest. Guys, I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm 50 fucking years old. I don't have time to keep up with all the pretense. Like,
I'm right with you,
Y'all are
Goldie.
just adorable.
I'm right with you. I can't pay attention. It's too much bullshit to keep track of.
Oh, Miss Andrea went to my wedding, guys. The wedding I had in a courthouse when I was 9 months pregnant 30 years ago. I didn't know I knew Miss Andrea back then. That's adorable. Love that for me. Oh.
If they didn't talk
And
shit
for those
about
who want to
you-
know,
if they didn't
I
talk
did
shit
get
about
married
you-
at a court.
Oh,
I'm sorry, go
Goldie.
ahead.
No, I was going to say, if they didn't talk shit about you, you know that it's just telling me that you're doing your job good.
Right.
Yeah, you're good
I
at
am
it.
making up lies. It's all on video. Oh, God damn it. I hope they got my good. I hope they did the good view on video.
But why is
I
why
wanna
is this
see
person
myself.
obsessed with you? Why do you got people obsessed with you? Popcorn, what's going on, honey? Don't you got something else you could do with your time?
Right? Maybe she was the flower girl fetus, although that would have been an empty
Oh.
uterus. We would have aborted that. But yes, so here's the deal. I knew I wanted to get married, but guys, when I wasn't showing, right? Okay, I got engaged. After I got engaged, I found out I was pregnant. Then I had the worst morning sickness you can imagine. Literally lost 40 pounds.
Oh God.
When I was 6 months pregnant, people thought I had cancer because I was a walking skeleton. I was almost hospitalized. So during that time, when most people thought, well, now you're going to have a shotgun wedding, and I went around and tried on wedding dresses, I was so sick. I couldn't conceptualize being married. And so we moved in together, but we never did the deed, right? And my parents were like, okay, they were going to pay for the wedding and they were going to do all that fun stuff. So then I was 9 months pregnant, and we looked at each other and we were like, you know what? We've never gotten married. And if we don't get married, because again, this is the 90s, we won't have health insurance for the baby. And then he was like, well, damn, we should get married. So we went to the courthouse and got married. And the nicest outfit I had was a bright red pantsuit. So I just want everyone to imagine I'm at the courthouse, giant 9 months pregnant, in a bright red pantsuit, getting married.
You forgot to mention there was a videographer and Miss Andrew were there too.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, Miss Andrews there. Yeah, I love
Yeah, the
that.
videographer at the
Um,
courthouse was there, and Miss Andrew was there too. You could probably find the tape
yeah,
online.
yeah.
It proves everything.
Well,
People are crazy, Goldie. People are crazy.
right, I know. I will say, I do enjoy being in the courthouse. After helping my sister do her wedding, I just found weddings really wasteful. I've never felt the need. I can buy myself a princess dress and run around the fields and feel really pretty for a while. I don't feel the need to buy a specific princess dress that's going to cost me $10,000 and then rent another place. And I don't know. It's just a bunch. Then, hun, show us the video. Send it now.
It's
I
funny is
want
I
to
haven't thought
see.
about it much, but it does seem like a kind of a wasteful and silly tradition. They should probably put that stuff aside for nest egg if they're going to, get a house or start a family. If they
Right.
throw all this money for a party,
Well,
nobody wants to go. Nobody wants to get dressed up and go. Nobody really gives a fuck about their commitment. It is have some food and leave. Um,
yeah, it just feels really wasteful. So we didn't do it, and I was okay with us not doing it. Um,
oh, Goldie, do you want to hear a terrible joke
you know,
about Trump?
to each their own.
Goldie, can I tell you a terrible joke about Trump? I heard it on TikTok.
Always.
What's the difference between President Trump and Woody from Toy Story?
What?
When a child enters the room, Woody goes limp.
That's funny.
That's terrible. It's the
That
worst
is
joke ever.
terrible. That is
I
so
want to tell it
bad.
to some Trump lovers, so like actual Trump lovers, 'cause
Oh,
I think that would really get them. You know what I mean? Uh,
so
um,
I did a video because I kind of fell down the rabbit hole on some of the things that were on the file. Anybody's welcome to check it out because I'm not going to go through the whole story here, but apparently the E-Man had a gynecologist who specialized in abortions on retainer for $75,000 a year for about 5 years. And it's really curious on why the E-Man would need an OBGYN on retainer. And now people are asking questions.
oh,
So,
crazy! I just registered what you're saying. I didn't. Because so you're saying Epstein had like an abortion doctor on call.
yeah, well, yeah, he had an OBGYN who specializes in maternity care and abortion care. So, and right now he's specializing in like later abortions. So, at the time, he worked at the Wexner Medical Center, and we have receipts that not only did he receive $75,000 a year from the E-Man, he also received several FedEx packages sent directly from the E-Man to him at the Wexner Center. And he was the gynecologist for Wexner's wife. And Wexner was good friends with the E-Man, but has said that he didn't introduce this doctor to the E-Man, even though we have receipts. Anyways, it's a big rabbit hole. They're all lying. And
But it
the
is a rabbit
creator
hole, and
that did all this,
I
so
don't know when
now,
it's going to. I don't know if where it's going to end and how absolutely disgusting it's going to get. It's so hard to keep track with. Because I know
I
there's
don't think they
allegations
can
now
anymore.
of like murder. No, of course we don't need anymore. I'm just saying, like the absolute truth. I don't think we'll ever know how fucking dark it is. Like,
No,
what the
I don't think
fuck's
we're
going
ever going to
on?
know. And I think releasing the files was probably one of the biggest mistakes because now
I
it's
know what you're
like
going to
the
say.
evidence has been contaminated.
It's been
I don't know
convoluted.
how
It's
you're
been
going to be able
convoluted
to
with
bring
all
anyone.
the. Yeah, it's been convoluted with a whole bunch of because they released every random person that has zero connection with anybody. Making up a story about Clinton sacrifice to the devil or something. Yeah, it's made things
There's
convoluted.
Okay, I hate that MAGA has turned me into the conspiracy theorist that I am now, but guys, ears don't grow back. So it's just that, like, some of these stories seem really, really far fetched. And I know that it's people are like, they're guzzling it like it's a snuff corn. And you need to stop. Y'all are gross. But,
Oh,
like, I still have a hard time believing that George Bush, Clinton, Henry Kissinger, and George Soros were all on a yacht together eating babies. Like, I just don't see that as like a plausible story.
Um,
And and they need to stop. And so yeah.
well, and that's but the thing is, though, I think I've heard people going around saying this is in the file, so it's absolutely true too. Hey, Goldie,
Right.
this is a special mango I got at the grocery store, the fancy grocery store. It was on sale, organic. It's a special mango. How do you eat mango? I just like slice off a chunk and try to like get the. I should probably watch a video. I
So
think there's a technique, right?
I thought you don't you slice it off and then scoop it out?
Well, you know what?
Oh, it's got.
I'll show you what I do.
I don't eat a lot of mango. I've opened up mangoes before, but to me, mango tastes like shampoo, and that's probably because mango shampoo was really big for kids when I was little, and
And
and I
you
just
couldn't stop eating it. You couldn't stop eating it when you were little, huh?
every time I taste mango, I taste mango shampoo. I'm not
Oh,
doing
that's
it.
funny.
You
I'm
can't
sure
trick
you
me
got
into
it in
eating
your mouth and
shampoo.
in your eyes and stuff. Oh my goodness. Um, I'm going to show you my trick, Goldie. For this is how I eat a mango. I cut off a slice and then I make a little checkerboard on it, and then I don't know if this is the real way because I think there's probably other ways. So I got this, and then I go like this, and then I
Oh
got
yeah, yeah,
little bite-sized pieces of my mango.
that's so
Oh,
cute.
this is I want to rub this all over my head. This smells delicious.
See, I know because it's shampoo.
I
Because you're
love
literally eating shampoo.
grapefruit flavored shampoo was my grapefruit smelly shampoo used to be my favorite when I had hair.
Oh, they
That
do?
was in the 90s. Yeah. Uh,
My kid has the tongue where the tongue mutation where what is it? Cilantro tastes like soap. He cannot stand cilantro. It tastes like soap to him.
Goldie, I'll tell you, I absolutely tasted the soap when I was like in high school working at Taco Bell. I don't taste the soap anymore, and I heard that it's inherently genetic, and now I wonder maybe my taste buds, maybe there's I don't know. I don't taste soap anymore, but I remember as a young person being like, it's fucking soap tasting, you know. Um, so I don't
Oh
know how
yeah,
that
taste
could
buds change.
change. Yeah. Oh. I,
Absolutely.
I have an aunt. I have 7 aunts, and I call my one aunt Bridget. I call her Aunt Cilantro because she ruins everything. That's what I tell her. Call her Cilantro because she ruins everything. Robin,
That's
I
so
love
funny.
you. That is funny. I got a dip. Goldie.
All right, it was good talking to you,
It's
Santa.
good talking to you. I wanted to join. I want to join your live sometime and hang out if that's okay.
Anytime. Yeah,
Okay, I
pop
love
on
it.
up.
I love it. Okay,
All
bye
right,
everyone. Thanks so much. Bye,
bye
Robin. We
guys.
love
I'll
you,
take care.
Robin. Bye, everyone. Have a great day. I might be back later. I might not. Never
Woohoo.
know. You never know. Uh,